Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the annual Anaheim Volunteer Recognition Ceremony. To start our virtual presentation, please welcome the Anaheim City Manager, Mr. Jim Vanderpool.
Good evening and welcome. Today we recognize the volunteers, organizations, and businesses that support our great city. Thank you for making a difference with your service and financial support to the Anaheim community. This is a special opportunity to recognize your tremendous contributions during an extraordinary year. What we've been able to accomplish for the community during 2020 is a testament to the deep-rooted passion for Anaheim shared by the individuals and groups we recognize today. Your service during 2020 inspired our theme, the power of community. To the community services, police, and fire department volunteers who are watching today, the power of your individual service to our community was on full display for the past year. We also recognize the community volunteers who serve on city boards, commissions, and foundations, as well as those on seasonal community event and program committees. Your collective efforts enrich the lives of Anaheim residents, and today we gratefully acknowledge your commitment to Anaheim. As we see the spread of the coronavirus in our community slow down and vaccinations increase, I'm hopeful that we'll soon see more of you back in action doing what you love in our community. Thank you again, and congratulations to you all. It is now my pleasure to introduce our Mistress of Ceremonies, Community Service Volunteer, Carol Latham.
Thank you, Jim. I'm honored to be here today to share the special ceremony with the community. To begin our program, please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance by Police and Fire Department Chaplain Nathan Zug, followed by Erica Miller of the Chance Theatre singing the national anthem.
Good afternoon. Let's bow in prayer. Father in heaven, holy is your name. May your kingdom come and may your will be done today in Anaheim, just as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Father, we are so grateful for all of our volunteers across the city and those who have given their time and energy to help Anaheim. Today we're pausing to remember them and thank them. So I ask your grace, favor, and blessing on each and every one of them for their role. And at the same time, Lord, I lift up our city, as you know, the challenges that we've faced and that we're currently in. So I ask your grace and favor and blessing on all of our city leaders, from our mayor and council to all of our department heads, to all of our employees and all of our people. Would you just be gracious to us? And again, we're thankful for this time and this moment and all who made this possible. Pray this in your holy, holy name. Amen. And now let's take a moment to salute the flag of our great nation. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave, the brave.
Thank you, Captain Nathan Zug from the Anaheim Police and Fire Department and Erica Miller from the Chance Theater. The City National Grove of Anaheim is a beautiful venue, and we appreciate the wonderful work they do annually for this event. We are looking forward to the time when we can see all of you here in person. This event is made possible thanks to the generosity of businesses, organizations, and individuals who believe in giving back to the community and honoring those who serve it. These sponsors are noted in the digital program, and we thank them. We would like to give special thanks to our presenting sponsor, the Disneyland Resort. We have an important nonprofit partner who makes sponsorships for this event possible in Anaheim, and it's the Anaheim Community Foundation. This foundation directly impacts lives in Anaheim by helping local nonprofits through grant programs and opportunities, awarding youth program scholarships, and enhancing citywide programs and services. Over the past few years, the foundation continued to make significant steps towards reaching their philanthropic goals. Here to say a few words about what they have accomplished in partnership with the City of Anaheim in 2020 is Anaheim Community Foundation Executive Director, John Gustafero.
Thank you very much, Carol, and thanks for everyone who's joining us virtually for this special event. As the CEO of the Anaheim Community Foundation, it's an honor to help and share and recognize the power of volunteerism in our community. ACF was founded in 1984 with a mission to build community through people, partnerships, and pride. And at no time has this mission been more important. And during the rise of the pandemic this past year, ACF and our board of directors, we rose to the challenge and helped lead the way to be a beacon of hope for thousands in our community. Thanks to generous funding from the City of Anaheim of $4 million, ACF was able to provide philanthropic support throughout Anaheim. We launched our Community Emergency Assistance Fund, and we also launched our Rapid Response and Recovery Program. This grant program has provided 76 nonprofit organizations with $3.75 million in grants. These nonprofits are true warriors on the ground, helping those across our community who need it most, people of every age, every background. In 2020 alone, we served over 1.2 million meals and over 93,000 food and grocery boxes and numerous other outreach services, and our work continues today. Now, beyond the pandemic, ACF has also partnered with the city on numerous other initiatives. Our annual Helping Hands grant program to help nonprofits, our Youth Enrichment Scholarship Program to help youth in our community, and our Community Emergency Assistance Fund, and many others. Now, we can't do this work alone. We have many generous supporters and donors, including the Samueli Foundation, Disneyland Resort, Orange County Community Foundation, the City of Anaheim, local businesses, donors, and residents themselves. When you support ACF, you become part of something bigger. You help drive community impact, lead collaboration, and grow philanthropy, and ultimately help improve the quality of life for Anaheim residents. So on behalf of ACF and our board of directors, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being part of the ACF family. ACF is there both in times of crisis and in times of celebrating progress. And it's an honor to celebrate and honor the volunteers and honorees today at this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. And now here to celebrate and congratulate the accomplishments of Anaheim Volunteers is your Anaheim City Council. It is my pleasure to introduce Mayor Harry Sadu to say a few words. Mayor Sadu?
A city is only as strong as its volunteers. As you see here today, Anaheim is strong. Our city is blessed with those who honor today. And so many who give to help others. Volunteers make life better in Anaheim and help us face challenges. The past year has challenged all of us. It has demanded we meet the crisis of our lifetime. A year into the pandemic, I'm proud to say that we are defeating coronavirus. Volunteers have led the way. Each day in Anaheim, nurses give their time to vaccinate our community. Others hand out food to families and seniors. Some work with those who may be new to this great country to help them vaccinated, or to help when a loved one tests positive for COVID-19. This is the calling of our time, and volunteers have answered it. Whether it is coronavirus, the arts, or working with youth, volunteers make a difference in our city. Without them, there is no concerts in the park, no youth programs, or extra helping hand in an emergency. This event means a lot to me. I'm proud of Anaheim's first Sikh mayor. In the Sikh faith, we worship by serving others. It is an idea known as seva. It means selfless service. Throughout the pandemic, Sikhs have fed millions across our country. When it wasn't safe to provide free meals at temples, they gave away food at drive-thrus or donated to hospitals and nonprofits. In the words of Sikh founder Guru Nanak, there is no better investment than giving to those who need more from us. It doesn't matter what you give. Anything you do to make someone's life better is seva. I want to personally thank you for selfless service to our city. On behalf of Anaheim, I also want to thank the Disneyland Resort and their support for this event and for all they have done in our community. Just down the street, we are vaccinating thousands of people each day at Disneyland parking lot. More than anything, this past year has shown the strength of Anaheim. It has brought a shared sense of purpose and caring for one another. It is one part of pandemic that I hope stays with us, and to add a long tradition of volunteering here in Anaheim. Thank you.
Hello from District 5 in East Central Anaheim. I'm Mayor Pro Tem Steve Fessel. Amid the pandemic, many of our already struggling neighborhoods had even more burden on their plate. Trying to keep the lights on, food on the table, and keep their families healthy. This year, we learned about masks and social distancing. We learned what PPE is, and we even had to worry about finding toilet paper, paper towels, and diapers. Thanks to the dedication of community volunteers and our local nonprofits, along with residents and businesses who provided donations, we've been able to help many people with these basic essentials throughout the year. And now, with the hope of vaccines coming online, these same groups are helping us get out the word and deliver vaccines to the hardest hit areas of our city. On behalf of all of our District 5, particularly those whom you helped with these essential services, thank you.
Hello from District 1 in West Anaheim. I'm Councilmember Jose Diaz. Throughout the pandemic, non-for-profits and volunteers have stepped up to feed families in need. I want to thank everyone involved for their tireless effort to provide meals in West Anaheim and across our city this past year, including right here at the Brookhurst Community Center. Not knowing where your next meal will come from is hard. And many Anaheim families found themselves with lost jobs, struggling to pay for food, pay for rent, and wondering how they will survive this crisis. Thankfully, there are brighter days ahead, but we could have done it without you. I'm humbled by your service to our residents. Thank you.
Hello from District 2. I'm Councilmember Jordan Bramman. I join my colleagues in celebrating volunteers here in West Anaheim and across our city. Whether it is the Kaboom Playground at Clara Barton Park, the Goals ABC Clubhouse, or the dedicated members of WAND, volunteers make life better in District 2 and all of West Anaheim. This past year has been tough for all of us, but things are getting better every day, and the spirit of volunteering has never left us. It will only flourish in the weeks and months ahead. Thank you to all of this year's honorees and all who give their time and effort to our great city. God bless.
Hello Anaheim, this is Jose Moreno, Council Member for District 3, Central North Anaheim. Just want to share in the gratitude to you all for your incredible volunteerism this past year. We know it's been the most difficult of years, but as always, the strength of Anaheim we know is in its people, and you all stepped up, both employees who volunteered their time, folks who themselves are going through a difficult time in their own lives with the pandemic and with economics. We are so grateful that you stepped up, continue to give your best to Anaheim, and to all those who continue that spirit of volunteerism. You are indeed the foundation of our city, and we're so grateful for the thousands of meals you've served, the thousands of people you've helped, and the thousands of lights of hope you continue to provide in our city. Muchísimas gracias, les agradecemos demasiadamente, profundamente a todos los voluntarios en esta ciudad que hacen realmente lo que es la ciudad de Anaheim, es el espíritu de nuestra gente aquí en el pueblo de Anaheim. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you, Anaheim. Adelante.
Hello, from Boysen Park in District 4. I'm Councilmember Adelino Valencia. Throughout this difficult year, I've seen firsthand the power of our community coming together to help those in need. Today, I want to personally thank the organizations that have helped keep food on the table for our struggling families. City employees who have gone above and beyond their normal duties to get us through this crisis. And we can't forget the important work of individuals who donated their time and opened their wallets to help those in need. When our community is hurting, we come together to lift each other up. That is Anaheim. And that's what makes me proud to live here and proud to represent you on the Anaheim City Council. To all the volunteers, thank you.
Hello from District 6 in Anaheim Hills. I'm Councilmember Trevor O'Neill. Whether on fire watch, Supporting Canyon Hills Library, Oak Canyon Nature Center, or the annual 4th of July celebration, volunteers make our community better. On behalf of District 6, I want to thank them for giving back to our city. Here in Anaheim, our volunteers are the heart and soul of our city. Government can only do so much, and our work is enhanced by volunteers who help make civic life complete in Anaheim. Without them, we're just another city. With them, we're Anaheim. Congratulations to all of our honorees, and thanks again to all of our volunteers.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council members. In 2020, many businesses, organizations, and individuals contributed financial support as well as goods and services to Anaheim Community Services Department programs. These generous donors are listed in the sponsor pages of the digital program. We are proud to congratulate our gold and silver certificate recipients with donations totaling over $43,000. These honorees make it possible to provide many of our community programs and services, including youth programs, concerts in the park, Pearson Park Amphitheater Summer Nights Under the Stars, senior programs and events, emergency assistance, Oak Canyon Nature Center Nature Nights, and last year's recognition event. Join us in recognizing our 17 gold and 38 silver certificate recipients for their contributions. Thank you. Your contributions have enriched the lives of those who live in this wonderful city. We now recognize the Platinum Award recipients with 2020 monetary and in-kind donations totaling over $11,000. Their valuable contributions make a remarkable impact on Anaheim. We could not continue our work without them. Please join me in celebrating the following Platinum Award winners. Kiwanis Club of Greater Anaheim, Devote, LKQ Pick Your Part, Grocery Outlet Anaheim, Lincoln and Knott location. Let us recognize our special award recipients now. These community-minded honorees nobly sustained our community with a combined total of over $1,327,837 in monetary and in-kind donations to city programs last year. Mayor Sadu is here to personally congratulate our deserving recipients. Anaheim Community Foundation, a nonprofit established in 1984, Anaheim Community Foundation has made enriching the lives of Anaheim residents its sole mission. In 2020, Anaheim Community Foundation played a vital role in dispersing over $3 million in rapid COVID relief funding from the city of Anaheim. More than 454,000 residents who found themselves in need of a helping hand during this unprecedented crisis. Anaheim Public Library Foundation. Since 1995, the Anaheim Public Library Foundation has provided funds that supplement and enrich the resources of the Anaheim Public Library system. In 2020, their donations of $44,000 enhanced vital programs such as the ebook platform. This allows library patrons to check out books online, an important service for many people during this pandemic. Other programs include virtual children's programming, reading incentives, and collection acquisitions. Bracken's Kitchen. Through food recovery, culinary training, and their community feeding program, Bracken's Kitchen is committed to recovering, repurposing, and restoring both food and lives. With in-kind donations totaling $11,200 and food distribution efforts at Ponderosa and Miraloma Family Resource Centers, they have been able to feed hundreds of families on a weekly basis throughout the pandemic. California Foundation for Stronger Communities. As the foundation for the California Municipal Finance Authority, a joint powers authority specializing in non-taxable bond sales, California Foundation for Stronger Community is committed to its mission to help improve neighborhoods and communities across California. Their contribution of $50,000 at the start of the pandemic enabled the purchase of shelf-stable food to assist Anaheim residents through the Community Services Department Food Pantry Program. Disneyland Resort. Even as Disneyland Resort was forced to close to the general public due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they continued to focus on assisting the Anaheim community. Their contributions totaled over $185,000, directed towards community grants, donating branded merchandise to be used as incentives and prizes at Anaheim Library and special events to bring smiles to the faces of Anaheim children. Disneyland Resort has also helped to ensure the success of this virtual recognition event as our presenting sponsor. Employee Giving Campaign, City of Anaheim. Giving to the community they serve, City of Anaheim employees donated over $43,000 to provide additional funding to diverse programs that contribute positively to the lives of Anaheim residents. These vital programs include Project Say team programming, Oak Canyon Nature Center, libraries, the Orange County Family Justice Center, and active older adult programming. Friends of the Anaheim Public Library. A strong advocate for the welfare of Anaheim's libraries, Friends of the Anaheim Public Libraries thrive to strengthen their resources for the benefit of Anaheim residents. With contributions of almost $12,000 in 2020, book collections for children, teens, adults, and the mobile library were increased. Prizes and incentives for summer reading programs were enhanced, as well as virtual programming to meet the needs of the community. Friends of the Canyon Hills Library. Friends of the Canyon Hills Library contributed almost $8,000 to expand the library's digital and audiobook collection for Anaheim residents to enjoy. These funds also helped purchase Raspberry Pis for the Team Coding Club, as well as summer reading program prizes and incentives that encourage participation from Anaheim youth. Friends of Families. Friends of Families is a nonprofit whose mission is to provide funding for children, individuals, and families in need through established organizations that enhance the family unit in Orange County. They recognize the urgent need to feed Anaheim families in crisis and stepped in to donate an astounding total of $525,000 worth of food items to help keep food on the table for thousands of families in our city. Samueli Foundation. The Samueli Foundation strives to create social value by investing in innovative, entrepreneurial, and sustainable ideas. In partnership with the Anaheim Community Foundation, the Samueli Foundation provided over $140,000 through the Anaheim Community Impact Grant Program, a cross-sector collaboration dedicated to meeting the needs of Anaheim residents through existing community resources. Vineyard Anaheim. At the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, Vineyard Anaheim identified the overwhelming need for food assistance to Anaheim families and worked with the city to set up mobile food pantries in the hardest hit neighborhoods. In 2020, they kept over 13,500 families experiencing food insecurities from going hungry on a weekly basis. Thank you again to the mayor and our special awardees. Let us now welcome the Community Services Interim Director, Ms. Shawnee Larson-Cash, to recognize the department's dedicated volunteers. Shawnee?
Thank you, Carol. I'd like to begin with my personal gratitude to the hundreds of you who have given generously of your time and energy this past year in service to our great community. Anaheim has built a reputation for community volunteers who graciously share their talents and expertise, and I extend our appreciation to all of you. This past year has shown us that volunteerism has the power to transform communities. Your individual efforts are crucial to the delivery of a range of important services in this city, and you have a direct impact on the lives of your neighbors. Please accept the recognition pin we sent to you with the invitation as a small token of our appreciation in honor of your service in 2020. At this time, I want to recognize members of our various councils, boards, and commissions. These residents take an active role in the preservation of the Anaheim community. The Anaheim Beautiful Board, Anaheim Community Foundation Board, Anaheim 13th MEU Adoption Committee, Budget Investment and Technology Advisory Commission, Community Services Board, Cultural and Heritage Commission, Housing and Community Development Commission, Collaboration to Assist Motel Families, Parks and Recreation Commission, Planning Commission, Public Safety Board, Public Utilities Board, Senior Citizens Commission, Sister Cities Commission, Workforce Investment Board, and finally, the Youth Commission. We deeply appreciate the important work all of you do. Next, I'd like to acknowledge our special event committees. These volunteers contribute so much to Anaheim's rich heritage and traditions. This year presented barriers to the long-established events we are used to, but these hard-working volunteers found ways to bring the community together safely through virtual and drive-by events. These groups include Anaheim Fall Festival and Halloween Parade Committee, Anaheim Flag Day Celebration Committee, Cinco de Mayo Committee, July 4th Committee, Nutcracker Holiday Tree Lighting Committee, and the West Anaheim Neighborhood Development Council's Holiday Tree Lighting Committee. What wonderful work you do to bring our community together. It is also my pleasure to recognize the many residents who support our Anaheim Public Library system in their mission to promote literacy, lifelong learning, and a love of reading. This includes Anaheim Public Library Board of Trustees, Anaheim Public Library Foundation, Anaheim Public Library Board, Friends of Anaheim Public Library, and Friends of Canyon Hills Library, and the many individual volunteers at the Canyon Hills, Central, East Anaheim, Euclid, and Haskett libraries, as well as those who assist with the Museo, Heritage Services, Historical Society Board, Central Work Creation Program, Literacy Program, and Bookmobile. Your collective support has meant so much to Anaheim families this past year. Thank you all so very much. At this time, we would like to recognize an essential group of individuals. They are the volunteers that support our active older adult programs and events, family resource centers, youth centers, Project Say, support Anaheim's youth, and the Volunteer program. What an outstanding group of individuals. Thank you to all who helped to make life better for others here in Anaheim. It is a tremendous honor for me to stand before this group who cares so deeply for our community. As I speak of the commitment of our city's volunteers, I'd like to acknowledge another important expression of public service, military service, and the sacrifices made by active service members, veterans, and their families. Their willingness to endure hardships while serving our country helps inspire us all to engage in local community service and encourages our dedication to our neighbors and society. To all that have served, you inspire us all. Thank you sincerely for your service. Thank you all again for your outstanding expression of community spirit in 2020. You truly demonstrate the power of community. And now, please welcome back Carol Latham to the stage.
In Anaheim, public safety is a priority. Our next presenters would like to recognize the many members of the community who collaborate with the city to help keep it safe. I now introduce Fire Chief Pat Russell to recognize the Anaheim Fire Department volunteers. Chief Russell?
Hello from the Anaheim Convention Center. I'm Anaheim Fire and Rescue Chief Pat Russell. As firefighters and paramedics, it's our job to deal with emergencies. Though we have always trained for disease outbreaks, a global pandemic never seemed like something we'd have to face. On top of the pandemic, we still have to deal with all the other usual emergencies we face a year, including fires, medical emergencies, wildfires, winds, and rain. We started to administer some of our first vaccines in our state at our NorthNet training facility, and now we're providing vaccines here at the Anaheim Convention Center and at the Disneyland Resort. It's an amazing undertaking, and it is helping save lives and get us back to normal. I know we would not have been able to get through this year without all of our outstanding community volunteers. From our CERT and RACES programs to our Firewatch volunteers, explorers, and so many more, our volunteers make us who we are and allow us to provide exceptional service to Anaheim residents and businesses. Amid all the uncertainty, you were a rock, a strong foundation for our community. And I want to take a moment to thank all of our volunteers, firefighters, and city employees for stepping up and making it possible for us to host 2 major vaccine distribution sites here in our city. We couldn't do it without you. You're truly showing the power of our community. Because of you, I'm hopeful for our future, and I look forward to thanking all of you in person next year. On behalf of the entire Anaheim Fire and Rescue team, thank you.
Thank you, Chief Russell. Let me introduce Anaheim's Chief of Police, Jorge Cisneros. to recognize the police department's volunteers. Chief Cisneros.
Hello from the Anaheim Police Department Main Station. I'm Police Chief George Cisneros. Thank you all for being with us today, even if we can't be together in person. To the volunteers watching, thank you for the service you provided to our community. At Anaheim PD, we have a variety of volunteer programs, including Retired Senior Volunteer Patrol, the Anaheim Resort Ambassadors, and Volunteers in Service to Anaheim. Despite the obvious obstacles we all faced this past year, our volunteers still managed to accumulate nearly 4,000 hours of service in 2020. Those hours made a huge difference in helping us serve Anaheim. Our volunteers act as additional eyes and ears for our officers and help us by reporting suspicious activity and identifying improvements we can make to improve safety and quality of life in our city. But that's just the beginning. Our volunteers assist in all aspects of our work, including patrol and DUI checkpoints, vacation home checks, the You Are Not Alone program homebound and isolated residents, and events such as Cops for Kids, Anaheim Family Justice Center, and National Night Out. Last year, as we faced the unknowns of the corona crisis, our volunteers went above and beyond and were there helping in every aspect, most recently serving at Anaheim's vaccine sites. To each and every one of our volunteers, I can't wait to see you back at APD in person soon. Each of you are a testament to the power of our Anaheim community. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Chief Cisneros. Once again, thanks to all of you for being a part of this tribute to our distinguished volunteers and donors. As we prepare to end, we hope you will reflect on the powerful impact your contributions have made in the city of Anaheim and the important work that you all do in the noble spirit of volunteerism. Now, here to conclude our event today and say a few final words is the City of Anaheim's inaugural Poet Laureate, Grant Heyer.
The very first award I ever received was a plaque of cherry wood from the City of Anaheim. Across the top it said Parks and Rec Department, and at the bottom, Sports Award, with a caricature of Andy Anaheim in cleats and a glove throwing a ball. In fact, here it is. According to my family that night, I asked them if they could build a trophy room for it. I settled for hanging it on my bedroom wall. In my defense, my parents had several bowling trophies that they participated in leagues throughout the city. In Anaheim Bowl on Lincoln, rest in peace, Wonder Bowl on Catella, and Limerick Bowl, still rolling along. That plaque was awarded at Maxwell Park near our family home on the west side, where I also, my dog Scamper won several pet talent awards, several ribbons, and also little did I know that decades later I would be honored with the award of a lifetime of being named the City of Anaheim Poet Laureate and Literary Ambassador by mayoral proclamation. But before that ever got to the mayor's desk, behind the scenes, there were dozens and dozens of volunteers and arts organizations working to this goal. And then the city employees honed it and refined it, and it made its way through the system. It took a long time. But it's a wonderful program that the city had, and I'm highly honored to be named the inaugural Poet Laureate. And as that title suggests, we had to build programs from the ground up. And again, there were dozens and dozens of volunteers who helped in that regard. And it could not have happened without the community coming together and doing that. And I'm forever grateful for that. Many of them are being named in today's program, by the way. I was not quite 1 year old when my parents and the family moved to Anaheim. And I stand here as living proof of what the community means. It helped shape my identity. greatly. The very first library card I owned was awarded on the day that the Haskett branch opened, also Maxwell Park, West Side. And the librarian handed it over the counter, I remember, powder blue, and I was told I got to sign it on the back, and it was such a sense of pride. I carried it in my pocket. And the hundreds and hundreds of books I checked out from Anaheim libraries greatly shaped my identity and who I am. And that's one of the reasons why I focused on libraries for my poet laureateship. But it goes deeper than that, because the library, to me, is about the community and the reason we're here today. The many people behind the scenes who make this city the great place it is. Libraries are the lifeblood, the heart of a community, supplying the wisdom of the great minds that came before us, but also they're a symbol of egalitarianism and a vehicle toward equality, as I see it. If it's true that knowledge is power, then a library is a major force in equalizing society's power structure so that not just the elite or those of privilege control the information, it's shared by all. And the community gathers there. One of the most beautiful events of my tenure, my 2-year tenure as poet laureate, was the very first open mic we held in the Central Library in the basement. More than 60 people showed up and applauded for each other, shared the mic. The oldest was a double cancer survivor, 80 years old. The youngest was a 5-year-old, all sharing their voice, adding their voice to the community. The diversity that was there, storytellers, rappers, students, veterans, homeless, teachers, retirees, everything in between, all sitting together, sharing the community. And that event happened because of the volunteers and the city employees. And the diversity that was there was inspiring. The city is made great by its diversity. And that's what literature and the arts are all about. So who knows how many lives were affected that night, even, by the people whose names were not known. As poet laureate, I was introduced to dozens of volunteers who had been working on programs throughout the community. I didn't know their names before. It's altogether proper that we do this here tonight and share their names. The people who volunteer don't do it for the spotlight. They do it to shine the light throughout the community, but it's nice that we have the light here tonight. So it was a very high honor to have served as Poet Laureate of the City of Anaheim. It's a high honor tonight to be able to close the program and give a final thank you to all of the people here being honored, not just for your giving, but for the inspiration you provided to all. Thank you so much.